Good morning. It's Yvette C. Owens of Company Culture with Yvette C. Owens. I am the author of Conquering Corporate Enemies, Mind, Personalities, and Situations. And I've just recently released my book, No Bosses Allowed: Lead to Serve and Transform. This morning, I wanted to share some insight around those two nasty, nasty twins, intimidating and intimidated. They are both based on fear, and leading by fear has not produced the results that leaders who do lead by fear could really benefit from as much benefit as they could have had they not chosen that type of leadership style. And then those who are been intimidated really lose their power when they succumb to an intimidator. And I understand that that sometimes can be difficult because the more than likely the person who is intimidating you have assessed to have more power than you do. And so we're going to talk about today how to overcome intimidation, how to, as a leader, step away from that style, fear based leadership style, and if you are subject to an intimidator, how you can take your power back. Again, I'm Yvette Owens of Company Culture. I also am the founding partner, managing partner of Destiny Speak, where we help leaders create healthy cultures where everyone can thrive and you can see your best results according to your key performance indicators. You can have the best outcome. And that's what we really want. We want to have an environment where people are running to come to us, people would love to work with us, and they know that they can also benefit and grow in their personal ventures, their personal vision and goals by being a part of your organization because it's a healthy place where everyone is growing and not just your bottom line. So today, again, we're talking about intimidation and those nasty twins, intimidators and intimidate and intimidated. So, the first point I wanted to make is that intimidators make the mistake that it is strength, that you're coming from a place of strength. And practicing what you really, many times, are really practicing only what you experienced by prior leadership. And many times it's a deflection of an insecurity or a defensive mechanism that you've built up inside, deflecting from personal weaknesses or a lack of knowledge or some insecurities. So, if we're really honest, that's what's happening when you are intimidating. Because the way you can change that is to know that the strength and power of a person who knows what the power of a question to ask and when to ask it, making an and then taking that and making an informed decision is incredible. So let me just say that again. When you know the strength and power of a person who knows how to ask the right question at the right time, and then make an informed decision based on the information coming back at you, then you have really reached a pinnacle point in your leadership. And you can turn that around to be a very powerful and great leadership style. So you no longer would you have to have this fear-based approach to your leadership style, but now you can engage others around you and use that as a strength. So if you want to change that mindset, if you want to change that leadership style, you have to change your mindset. Change your mindset. You are not so that you are as effective as possible. Because fear based leadership is not as effective as you think. You're only going to get minimal. People are only going to get the very basic that they can give you or that they absolutely want to give you, because they really just want to keep moving by you. They want to just do what you want to ask exactly what you get asked for, give it to you, and keep pressing. You're not going to get any more. You're not going to gain any additional insight from those around you. You're not going to really experience the greater of the authenticity of the people around you when you approach your leadership style from a fear-based perspective. So again, if you want to change from being intimidating to being empowering, so that you can reap, and not only you, your organization and those around you can reap the benefits of the mindset, the experiences, the skills of everyone around you. First, change your mindset. Know that that fear-based leadership is not working, not as effective as you would desire, and certainly not in the long term. Secondly, just simply use concise and direct communication. Sometimes we talk too much, and when we talk too much, we start to get talk from our emotional space. And so just be very direct in what you need. Ask if there are any questions that are lingering in the people that you're trying to address those, that give direction to. Give them an opportunity to ask their question and respond in a positive way, because no matter how well we think we're communicating, we're only communicating as well as the people across the table are receiving that communication. So if they are not receiving it, the problem is not necessarily with them, it's with you. So find a way to restate what you're trying to get across to them. Try to find a way to be more clear in your statements, and be concise. Third, develop a strong relationship with the people that you're working with. The more we have a strong relationship, the more we engage with them, the more we understand who they are, appreciate who they are, appreciate their weaknesses and their strength, their knowledge base, experiences, their perspectives, then we come from a better, healthier place when we're dealing with them. And fourthly, maintain your professionalism. I remember a situation where we were all in a meeting with a leader who I actually, and this was early in my career, and I really respected this gentleman. But this day, I don't know what happened at home. I don't know what happened before he came into that meeting, but he came in banging his hands on the table, saying that this is unacceptable, and just expecting people to give. And he really wasn't hearing people when they were saying, we are where we are now because, and people clearly laid out the situation, and they also laid out their next steps. So it wasn't like they were just coming with a problem waiting for him to solve it. They came with, we understand our charge was to do X. We went about doing that. And in doing so, we ran across these obstacles, and here's how we're going to overcome them. And as they reported out, he just became more infuriated, which was totally out of his character. So he resulted in this fear-based strongman authority, started banging on the table and saying, I want it done and get it done. Now, again, people who lead by intimidation often lead from a fear. So he could have had someone pressuring him just coming into this meeting and been threatened. And so now that's being injected upon the people, and that was being injected upon us, but it was not being effective. And I mean, I've been in work the place for 40 some years, and this was really early in my years. So let's just say 38 to 36 years later, I still remember that, and I'm still sharing it with you as a lesson learned. So let's not lose our professionalism in any scenario. And then, lastly, with regards to those who lead by fear and intimidation, model the way that you want people to follow. How about that? We are don't when I say this, I have a picture of the cowboy trying to leading the herd back to the ranch, right? and they're behind, or and they have the whip, and they're just um, trying to move and herd the cattle from behind. And that's what I have the picture of when someone's being intimidated and fearful. They're not showing you how to get to where they want you to go, but what they're doing is prodding you and whipping you from the back, not showing you how to get there, but just expecting you to get there. If you flip that, leader, if you flip that behavior and that style, and you lead alongside the people, you model the way in front of them, the behaviors and the responses that you want, you will get a better response. So then the other twin is being intimidated. And I was reflecting back on a conversation with a friend this week that I also was at one point in my career leading by intimidation. And honestly, well, I must be honest. And sometimes I knew I was doing it, but when you practice something so long, then it becomes subconscious, and you're just doing it on a regular, not being aware that you're doing it all the time. So it wasn't until one of my leaders pointed out that I was doing it. But then I realized, as I was explaining to my friend this week, I believe I was doing it because that's what I saw. And to survive in the place that I was working in, to survive in corporate. So, again, getting back to my book and the workbook that I have, Conquering Corporate Enemies, Mind, Personalities, and Situations, the first place is our mindset. So, there are cultures, corporate cultures, that would, as a defense mechanism, you can decide, if I'm going to survive in this space, I need to be just as hard and just as intimidating as the people who are leading me and who are around me in this place, because that's how the place runs. And so I was finding myself doing that. And can I tell you, I was also finding myself enjoying it when I knew I needed to do it and worked. And I thought it was working. And once I had another leader share with me, you're intimidating people. And even in my conversation, when I was trying to engage people in meetings, I would come in already with the outcome that I wanted in mind, and totally leading my conversation in that manner, totally leading the conversation around getting to my ultimate outcome. And one of the reasons you do that is because you could be fearful that something might come up that you weren't prepared for. Can I tell you that that is not the way you want to lead? Where you want to lead is to engage and empower everyone to bring those ideas, especially the ones that you were not aware of and that you had no idea you should consider, because together you can then collaborate and come out with the best outcome. All right, so again, just recap. If you're the intimidator and your leadership style has been intimidation and you want to change it, change your mindset, use direct and concise communication, talk less, develop strong relationships with those you're working with, maintain professionalism, and model the way. Now let's go to that other twin. When you are being intimidated, stop, think, and take a deep breath. Reflect on the inside. Identify the source of the fear that you're feeling. Because again, remember, intimidation is all fear based. Identify what source. It could be a trigger that, even growing up, you had somebody who was of influence in your life, and that's how they dealt with you. That's how they dealt with everyone. And you, really being younger and not being in that authoritative role, really didn't know how to deal with it. And so you start to become that little girl. You start to go inside and you become that little boy again. You come back and you shrink back and to that place where you, in your mind, failed. And as Tyler Perry says, you never fail because everything is a lesson learned. And if you were in a situation when things didn't come out well like you wanted to, that's a powerful place where then you can take that to the next scenario and work it out to your benefit. So take a deep breath, stop, address your insecurities, recognize what they are. If you need help, talk it out with someone who you trust. Thirdly, take a reality check. Humanize the person who's being the intimidator because everybody is human. Everybody has weaknesses. Everybody has strengths. Everybody, as we like to say often, puts on their pants the same way. Everybody has blood running through their veins. Everybody gets cold. Everybody gets hot. Everybody gets sleepy. So humanize. Everybody has a hunger. So humanize that person again and recognize that they're not this big monster. Like we tell our kids, hey, there's no monsters in this room. And you let them see the reality of the space. See, again, take that reality check in that space and in that person. Okay? No one's perfect and no one has all the knowledge. So if you recognize that, then you're now in a position to regain your voice. I want to say that again. Regain your voice. And you may need to practice this before you encounter that person the next time, but speak out what you're feeling, and then move beyond that and speak out the facts concerning that issue that was being where you were being intimidated. Document the facts, speak them out, rehearse them in your mind, research them, build up the information around them, the facts around that information, and then regain your voice. And then lastly, prepare for the next exchange. Be clear, and if you have to clear the air, do so. But be prepared for the next exchange. In that, you are going to remember that this is just another human being across the table, not taking away respect that you should have for their position or just the fact that they're another human being. But they don't have that. Don't give people that power over you. Don't give people that power over you. And if you need to, be ready to clear the air. And you can check back in my podcast. Maybe I'll post it again. I did something around how to have those difficult conversations. Difficult conversations. It's not until we're honest with ourselves and honest with the people around us that we're free. And when we're free, then we're enabling ourselves to be our best self. And that's, as you know, if you follow me and you're watching what I do, I'm always encouraging people to bring their best selves to the table so we together collectively can be our authentic and best, producing the best services and bringing the best products to our communities. I hope this helped you. Follow me on YouTube at Yvette C. Owens, on Facebook at Company Culture with Yvette C. Owens, on my Facebook page, Yvette C. Owens, on Destiny Speak, our company page. Go to DestinySpeak.com or the diplomatchronicles.com, and there's blogs. I'm sure you'll find that blog regarding confronting having those difficult conversations there where you can glean some information. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe and enjoy the culture that you're in. And until you can get to that place, make sure you remember that you're worth it and your value is far greater than the situation that you might find yourself in now. So keep going until you get there. Have a great day. Bye-bye.